Hello and welcome to Press TV's Top 5. I'm Marzia Hashemi. Thanks so much for being with us. Well, Russia has accused the U.S.-led coalition of wiping the Syrian city of Raqqah off the map with its, quote, barbaric carpet bombings. The Russian Defense Ministry in a statement said that the coalition pounded Raqqah the same way the U.S. and Britain bombed Germany's Dresden in 1945. It noted that the West is now rushing to provide aid for people of Raqqah to cover up its own crimes. According to the ministry, no more than 45,000 people remain in Raqqah, the city that had some 200,000 people before the conflict. The U.S.-led coalition has killed a large number of Syrian civilians in aerial operations that launched under the pretext of targeting Daesh terrorists. The Syrian government has repeatedly condemned U.S. attacks as a violation of its sovereignty. Going to cross over to London, joined by Mr. Alexander Mercouris, Senator-in-Chief of the Duran. Thank you so much for being with us. Well, we're not hearing a whole lot about this side of things when the mainstream media is covering the situation in Raqqah. Tell me, how can the United States get away with the type of bombing that actually Russia has compared to World War II Germany?
Well, the reason the US can get away with it is because, of course, the international media is very dominated by the Western media at the moment. So that whilst a year ago we were hearing an awful lot about the Russian bombing of Aleppo, which was far less extensive, the utter devastation of Raqqah happened without anybody noticing, it would seem. Now we're starting to see some pictures about it. There's a few reports in a few places, but nowhere near the amount of coverage that there ought to be, and none of the condemnation, obviously.
How likely is it that the U.S. will be charged with war crimes? First of all, they're involved in a country where they were not invited by the sovereign government, and we have seen time and time again, especially from their aerial bombardments, where so many innocent people have been killed or injured.
Well, I think the point you make about the United States not having been invited into Syria and being there contrary to international law, because there is no UN Security Council resolution, for example, authorizing it to be there, is spot on, and it is important to remember. So this city has been destroyed. It is a case, if you wish, of a desert being made and it being called peace. But there is no prospect whatsoever, in my opinion, of any war crimes trials taking place, because the realities of the international system and of the international balance of power at the moment mean that the United States is able to do these things with complete impunity.
Thank you so much for being with us out of London, Mr. Alexander Mercouris, Editor-in-Chief of the Duran.